It's not always easy being a military family. With the whole journey of that comes the challenges. Some of them include finding the perfect school, adjusting to new friends, new environments, buying a house, selling a house, finding employment, finding eye doctors, and all those types of things.
It can be a little overwhelming, starting over again somewhere new, trying to make new friends, build new relationships in new communities.
If the men and women in a uniform know that their families are cared for, if they know that their families are supported while they're on a deployed operation or they're away from their families for extended periods of time, they can focus on their primary task, on the task at hand, and therefore it's going to contribute to the operational effectiveness of the Canadian Armed Forces. Military Family Resource Centres are our most important partner in terms of frontline service delivery to military families.
And the programs run right from deployment support services to volunteer services to employment and education and youth services, nursery school, childcare. It's the whole gambit.
I think the partnerships are very important for the military families especially. We can connect them with specific companies and specific partners that can help them make the transition from one city to another city and let them focus on their families.
The Military Family Doctor Network we're establishing is leveraging our clinic footprint, initially in Winnipeg as a pilot, and now in Halifax and Toronto, where we proactively engage the doctors and physicians to determine if they would be open to accept military families within their practice.
The relationship and the partnership that we have with Calian is very streamlined. It's a document that gets sent to us, and then we can send all the necessary paperwork to the patient. When I see them, everything's already been done, and it's very easy for me to assess them. It's very easy for them to get in to see me.
We're aware of the need and the communities, having employees on each of these bases, so we were familiar with the communities. It was just a matter of putting a little bit of administrative horsepower behind the program. The good news is these family physicians have been more than willing to help.
I contacted them, and within 48 hours we had a doctor. So that was really awesome.
We've been running workshops under the Military Family Skills to Succeed program that Accenture's put together, and we've interacted with hundreds of spouses now that have told us their individual stories and the impact on them and the challenges that they have in maintaining and growing their careers.
I don't think I would have had anywhere near a chance to have been as successful as I have been if it hadn't been for the workshops. The partnership and collaboration with Accenture, they have a skill set that's second to none, and the benefit to me has been I have a new career, I have a new lease of life.
The military was a natural choice in partnership for the Dr. J. Children's Grief Center. We were struck by the trauma that many of the veterans were experiencing, and then we wondered about the children and what are the children experiencing in those families. So it was a natural way of joining together collaboratively. Camp Erin is one of the programs that we run, and it's a wonderful way in which children who may feel isolated in the loss of a family member are able to join with other children.
We directly touch on grief throughout the weekend. We identify that we're all there because someone in their life has died. And you see that kids just kind of scope around and look at 100 other kids, and you see the light bulb kind of go on. And for a lot of kids, it's the first opportunity that they have felt safe to share. These kids didn't choose to be part of the military, but there still are. And in my mind, that requires great care and great attention from the community around them.
In 2012, we began a partnership with Military Family Services and began looking at what's different about the modern military experience and what can we learn from that experience. We may be able to translate that learning and how to be resilient in that environment to the rest of us that aren't military families, and we can learn from them.
Having opportunities for our employees to volunteer gives them a huge level of satisfaction, and to us is a big differentiator in the marketplace, because today's young motivated workers are actually looking for that, a way of giving back to the communities that we live and work in.
One of the reasons that I think there's been such a growth in military family research is because of the partnerships we've been able to form. Not just with our 40 academic partner universities, but with National Defense and with Veterans Affairs and with the Vanier Institute for the Family, with all of the MFRCs and the various organizations.
We've seen a really significant increase in military family research abstract submission to our National Forum event, and this creates opportunities for military family researchers to connect with one another and to develop future collaborations.
The Canadian Armed Forces can't possibly provide all the services and programs that are required, many that exist already in the community, and therefore it's essential to leverage the existing capacity instead of trying to recreate it. So we can't do this alone.
We as the Institute can open doors through our connections with community, with media, with policymakers, with government from the outside, and we can bring all of those resources and networks to the table. And Military Family Services can do likewise within the government, within the armed forces, within the military serving community, that allows us then to achieve things much greater than we could do individually.
How proud is it as an executive, as an employee, as anybody involved with the company, to be able to go home at night and talk about the role you're playing positively in the lives of our military members?
When everybody works together towards a common goal, your likelihood of succeeding is great. So it's really important that we work together and collaborate to make things happen for military families.